Hi guys, this is Wenzes from Below the Radar Above the System, and I want to talk to you about Enneagram Type 9 right now. See, what I'm going to do is when it gets to Enneagrams, I'll have this one first because I'm an Enneagram 9, and I've had people asking me for that type specifically for a while now. So now I think it's about time I talk about it. And then I really encourage you, if you're interested in other types, to kind of state it below in the comment section on YouTube, and then use the like button if you want to see that one. So if somebody says, I want to have an Enneagram 4 video, then, and you want that too, you can just click the like button, and the next time, the ones with the most likes will be the next one I'll be talking about. And the Enneagram stuff is just gonna be something I do additionally to the normal topics. And normally I try to do 3 videos every 3 weeks, so there's like a consistency in it. Now it's gotten a little quicker, the last videos I did last week, but now I woke up today and I already had some things on my mind I wanted to share with you. As you see, I'm in all spring mood. It's still cold outside, but I got my tulips, and I was in a very good mood, and I wanted to talk to you about a couple of things that I think are going to be beneficial. So let's first start with the Enneagram Type 9. And especially this time, I'm going to talk about it from an INFJ perspective. We'll see how we'll do it with the other types because if we're gonna do it, I have, an INFJ type 3, or we're gonna talk about type 3 in general. If you've watched a couple of my Enneagram videos, especially I think there's one that was really Enneagram in the title, you will know that I find Enneagram to be very important, and it's not so much like MBTI or socionics. It's not so much about functions. It's about what motivates you in life, what kind of holds you back, and how you can integrate and disintegrate. So as I said, I'm a type 9, and for type 9s, the disintegration is disintegrating into type 6, and the integration is into type 3. So I'll talk about that in a bit, but if we talk about it very lightly or not going too much into details, it's like this. If you're not feeling well, if you're in a bad place for a 9, you get very catatonic. You kind of just, you don't feel anything about life. You numb out everything that's around you because you're scared of something. This is the main thing with Enneagram. It talks about what are you scared of? What is your, really, where do you come from? Are you a heart type? Are you a gut type? Are you a head type, and so on? And types 8, 9, and 1 are gut types or anger types. And for 9s, anger is asleep, meaning we kind of want to avoid anger. And my whole life I have tried to suppress anger, suppress my point of view. I think they say it's because the type 9 child, there was some kind of force outside of him, somebody that was very strong, had a very strong personality, and the type 9 didn't really have the chance to get out of their shell and just kind of be, speak up for themselves. And in order not to feel all those pains about being angry that you're not being heard, you kind of suppress that. And suppressing that means that you kind of cut yourself off from a lot of good things, just feeling emotions and so on, because if you suppress anger, you suppress everything else. Especially for this type, anger is kind of the core of everything. So this is why I realized with time how important it is to feel angry and to fight for your rights, and to kind of always have in mind, I am as worthy as everybody else. I'm not better than them. As in, I'm not morally better than them, or I'm, worse than them in fulfilling my dreams or so on. But that you say, okay, we want to have a common ground. If you have the impression that your moral values are way too high for others, you gotta kind of make it up either you if you talk to people, you have to find a common ground, or you use that feeling of yourself that you have to work towards a better humanity or so on in something that you actually do, like really contribute, and not something you expect from other people, just in your day-to-day action, because we're all human, we all make mistakes. And it's also important for you as a type 9 to fight for what is important to you and to express your emotions and so on. And the main fear with type 9s is kind of like separation, because what we do is we want to merge. We want to merge with other people because our own life force is being suppressed, that anger that's being suppressed. I'm talking about, of course, now the negative effects when you're in that disintegrating place, going towards type 6, which is me pretty much like kind of becoming one of the you know, like not really sticking out. And this is not necessarily like a bad thing for some. For 3s, for example, being a 6 is the best thing they can do, because then they don't have the urge anymore to kind of like always stick out, and they can be part of the group and enjoy life. And for Enneagram 9s, it's not so good to be part of the group and not really voice your opinion, because you kind of like take in too much. Like there's a space you have to create for your own, and you do that through type 3s, and pretty much like going and doing something about your convictions in life and so on. So you allow yourself to really be human, to enjoy life, to enjoy flowers, to enjoy music, to kind of like just do things that are good for you. So as I said, in the negative aspect, you kind of like are scared that you're gonna be separated from people. That's like your main fear. So what you do is you kind of just become passive, and you absorb other people's lives and emotional compositions and so on, and you kind of just react to that, and you do everything to avoid conflict. So, but the problem is you can't have long-term tranquility or peace, which is very important for type 9s. They're also called the peacemakers, if you don't state your opinions and what you believe in, because you are human, and at some point you are going to you're just gonna explode at some point. If you have, like, this happens to a lot of 9s throughout their life. This is also what you can read or see in other you know, YouTube videos, and this is what I experienced in myself. You kind of always take it. You always say, but I don't want to fight with you. I don't want to fight back. We're scared of when we react, the reaction is going to be so strong. It's going to be so full of anger and resentment that it's going to, you know, create things that are not controllable and that are very, very painful. So we kind of really scared of that. So we keep that all bottled up. But at some point, you know, it just gets to a point where you just can't take it no more. You get really catatonic. You don't feel anything. You go back into your cave, and more and more and more you get outside of reality. You're not having any kind of feedback from the outside. You don't bring anything. You don't deliver any message or any kind of emotion or whatever it is to the outside, because all you think about is kind of like, don't upset the other one, because I feel so much what the other person feels, because they have, like, you know, I've absorbed their emotion, that if they get mad at me, it's just gonna be painful, and I don't want to hurt them, and I feel responsible for them. There's boundary issues here as well. So, you know, as you said, you get to a point where you just kind of explode, and then what comes out can be very vicious. I've told this in a couple of videos. I've probably made all of my friends cry during our friendships. I've hurt people a lot with these things, and I never intended to. And I'm always the one who people think people used to think, you know, I can ask her anything, she'll do anything, and she can take anything, and I can use her as my emotional garbage bag. And this is not even meaning like disrespecting them, because they didn't know. This is just like how they experienced it. It's not like you see, oh, that's Wenzes, I'm just gonna use her and put all my negative emotions onto her just because I don't care. It's because this is how we feel we're being beneficial to others, by absorbing their pain, because that way we also get positive emotions, because we're not allowing our own life force to create positive emotions for ourselves. So when you get to this point where you explode, it can be very, very painful because of the pain you cause others. But on the other hand, you understand that once you're able to like kind of let all of that out, that on the other side, like there's sadness, there's a lot of pain that you have to really live through. But once you really live through it and you're okay with it, as I said in the last video, it's feel the pain, deal with it, and then you heal. And once you heal, you can actually really start integrating. And especially for those center types, 9, 3, and 6, it's rather like studies have shown that especially those types, when once they realize what is the right path for them, it's rather easy for them to stay there. But for a long period of time in their life, they kind of like are stuck in that negative place. So once you're able to get to that positive place, it's all good. Mainly because you have a direction and you know where to go. So if you want to avoid that, those negative emotions that you create within others, which happened to me, I think this was the main reason why I started doing good things, because I thought I can never ever hurt somebody like this again. Like, this was so painful for me. I felt so horrible that I would have to inflict so much pain on somebody else and really confront them with their deepest fears and so on, just because they were putting everything on me and I just couldn't take it anymore and couldn't do it in a controlled way. That I decided I have to change something, and that's when I created like kind of my own life force. This is when I started going out of the world, into the world, becoming more like a type 3. Like I've talked to type 3s, and there is the big difference in energy. Types 3 generally, if you really, really feel them, they have this force of going somewhere. That's like in their nature. 9s don't have that. So if you're saying you're integrating into 3, is you're doing what is necessary to become more like a 3, but it's not necessarily something that's always in you. It's just something you practice and you do, and it makes you feel better in the long run. So what this means is that you understand that in order to be happy, you do need some kind of external feedback. You cannot do everything just being completely inside. We are social beings, and there has to be some kind of way for us to feel that we're part of the group. So you kind of go out and you stick up for what you believe in. Knowing that there are going to be people who are going to be disappointed, who won't like you because you're not serving their purpose anymore. And you don't need to be in all that negative place that I was in order to get there. And I've seen this in these videos and through the reaction from people, how this is actually really helping a lot of INFJs to follow that road, to understand that you need to have like a peace of mind for yourself, and then you can do better and good, and that you want that life force. That life force in INFJ terms is in a lot of ways the SE, to kind of like really do something in reality, something that has like, that you can really say, okay, this happened, I did this, I created this, I helped those people, and so on. And that's what being a type 3 is all about. It's not going into the world or being more like a type 3. So if you think about me, for example, I'm not in all my social circles around me much more. It's not that I go outside and I have, huge followings, or, like extroverts and have a bunch of friends around me. I still have my close friends, and I still like to do stuff on my own. But for example, this channel, or for example, opening up to other INFJs, or creating something at work, or opening up to other people, I grow in those areas that are important to me, and I look for people who really benefit from this, because each one of us is very specific. If you're an INFJ, if you're type 9, it doesn't matter. You can, even 2 INFJs are never gonna be the same. So, but, so it's very difficult to kind of like always look for that one person that's gonna give you everything you want. And much better is to like kind of see, okay, I want this, I want to create good, I want to help, I want to express myself, I want to do this, this, and this, and to kind of like actively go out and really do those things. And once you do that, you create a momentum. And it's very, very difficult, especially in the beginning, because you don't feel any progress. But this is where you have to use your TI and to kind of like understand logically, okay, this is the way to go. I need to do this because this is the only way to go. It's so difficult. I don't understand it emotionally because I'm just like empty right now, but this is the way to go. And once you get that momentum, you grow. You kind of fill up yourself with everything around you, but therefore you have to like kind of integrate, do the right things, being like willing to be seen and not liked, and really sticking up for what you believe, and that you kind of like understand that you have to love yourself first, and you have to ask for those things you need from the world, not from one person specifically, because maybe that person can give it to you or it's not right for them, but you have to like really make it a point of, this is what I want and I'm going after it. Like, I'm really going after it. People can help you, but you have to be the one who really goes for what you think is important, because nobody knows what's happening inside of you. One of my very good friends, she had a doctor's appointment now, and it was something with her stomach, and she said, yeah, I've been complaining about this for 10 years and nobody takes me seriously and so on. And like, I understand where she's coming from, and I told her this because I had it also with emotional things. I always felt you know, nobody understands me and so on, and I kind of like didn't do anything about it. And I told her, well, it's your responsibility. Nobody knows what's going on inside of you. Nobody can take you seriously because nobody really knows how important this is. You have to make yourself the first priority. And now she kind of gets it that, okay, she has to take control of her life and really listen to herself when she's suffering and really check out what's going on. And this is also the same thing with you. If you want to be understood, if you want to have a positive impact, then go to places and do things which make an impact. Talk to people who do understand you. You know, they don't have to understand everything. And some people, you know, you just want them to accept parts of you. Like, I want some people to accept parts of me that are maybe selfish, or which like to kind of like fight and get into like kind of just competitions and stuff like this. And also people that I admired in the way that I thought, oh, they're morally high, upstanding people, and I didn't want them to know. And I realized if I want to have like real intimacy with those people, and those are just friends, I'm not talking about like your life partner or anything, but you can have intimacy more with everyone around you if you're really willing to be vulnerable and to show all parts of you. And that's also showing that you kind of feel good about yourself in certain ways, or that you think that you could win in a certain situation. Those are just parts that you have to let other people see. And only when you do that, you can kind of like grow and make the best out of your life. So yeah, this is now on INFJ Enneagram 9. Those videos are probably very specific. As I said, I think you can just write down if you want me to talk about another Enneagram. I will not make it INFJ specific, because I think the fact that I, as an INFJ, talk about them already is INFJ specific. I have it from my point of view and what I've experienced with my friends. So yeah, I hope you like it. Bye.